And then if you put acupuncture points together with specific emotions, you get ways to bring down emotional intensity, because acupuncturists have known how to do that for a long time. I went to my first acupuncturist about 22 years ago. Someone dragged me along and said, you need to go for your whatever was going on with me, headaches or something. I go for acupuncture when I'm feeling irritable or when I'm feeling a bit depressed, because an acupoint in Chinese medicine, the emotions are connected to everything. Your lungs are sadness, your liver is all the anger. So when your liver's out of balance or stuck or full, you're angry no matter how much meditating you do. You're angry because your liver is hot, is what it's called. So we can reduce emotional intensity through acupuncture, but the energy psychology field is emotional acupuncture. I can access this acupoint just by tapping it. It's called percussing. And I know most of you, how many of you are familiar with EFT? EFT is like the most well-known of energy psychology, and I do SET, PET, I have a whole range of things. I'm not that fond of EFT because it's weird to do this when you're standing in a line in Walmart and you're mad, you know. I don't like to do that because then they get security over and they take you off. So I prefer using SET or some other systems. Sorry. Okay. Yoga. Yoga, breath, specific conditions. What do I mean by that? If you are mentally unfocused, we can use a yoga pose, but you don't have to be on a mat, because Donna Eden has developed energy medicine, which I like to call boardroom yoga, and we're going to do some right now. So we can align our bodies with that. And we're going to start right now with that. And later I'll talk about releasing memories that mess us up in our history in the hologram. And finally, oh, I love the internet. Did you know that channeled work refers to the internet as our great online library? It is. You can ask Mr. Google anything. He's my best friend these days, Mr. Google. You can put in any kind of question, smart meter, and you just put in smart meter messing me up, adverse react, anything like that, and you get millions of hits because it's such an amazing technology. It works not as fast as our brain, but it's pretty fast. Our brains, by the way, are 3,000 times more rapid than any computer program that's out there. So just to give you an idea of what you can synthesize, what you can do in our brain, and I didn't know that, and I know a lot of stuff. So, okay. So why should anybody care about this stuff? If there is a situation where you are overwhelmed, agitated, upset by a phone call, upset by somebody, you run into me on a bad day, any of those things, you can fix yourself up immediately and instantly. And I'm trying to teach the world about how to use this. So if you're upset, you can do something. If you're tired, you can do something. If you're brain fogged, you can do something. Have you ever been in a situation where you're reading a page, and you're reading a page, and you're reading the paragraph, and you're reading the paragraph, and you know you're supposed to finish this, or you know it was for somebody, and the words just won't stick? Okay, I'm going to show you today how to fix that. Fix, fix, fix right away. And then you are on your mark, get set, go, and fine. Okay. So, some examples when you're not feeling quite right. Have you ever had the experience of meeting somebody and within about 2 minutes you're feeling messed and you weren't before? How many of you experienced that? Okay. What's happened is that your nice aligned energy, I see Reiki masters going, yes. What's happening is that your nicely, beautifully aligned grid with all your chakras spinning the way they're supposed to and your energy woven the way it's supposed to. What's happened is that you've stepped into an energy field that looks like steel wool. And you begin to get scrambled. When I was a simultaneous translator for a couple of years, I could not translate a respondent in a focus group room who had fuzzy thinking, because I was getting the information packages. I didn't know it back then. I know that's how I was doing it now. But when someone is so scrambled and you're expecting them to say that they really like this ad because of X, Y, Z, and what comes out to you sounds like, and my grandmother had a bad day last week, only they're speaking something else. You can't get it. It's because you're in that scrambled energy. Okay, this is when you read the same line over and over and you can't remember something that you know you normally remember. For dowsers, when you're dowsing, making a decision, I have things to help ground and clear and make sure that the answers you're getting are answers that come straight from source, 100% or infinity% pure light, as we like to refer to it. When you're making a normal decision, for normal people who don't know anything about dowsing, if you can ground and focus them and get them in, I think our grandmothers used to say, right mind.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? That actually means you're, I think the Hicks refer to it as the manager. It means in the you that is the knowing you. The decisions you make will be decisions that are for your highest good. There's ways of asking for that. But you can make the same decision when you are ungrounded and messed and, oh, you're going to make the wrong decisions. I think before I was the queen of mood swings, I was the queen of not so good decisions. And that was a joke. I've been sort of in comedy a lot of my life because I'm smart, but I get messed. So comedy usually works. Okay, so when you enter a crowded room, I'm going to show you how to do this. You walk into a room and you're okay, and in a little while you're not so okay. You either shut down, clam up. Anybody shut down, clam up when they think they're okay and they shut down, clam up? I got one over here, I got another one here. You might not do that if you were just meeting one person. You know, people say I'm okay with one person, but I'm not so okay in a group. Guess what? It's because you're susceptible to the energies around you and your defense mechanisms make you not okay in a group. This work allows you to be as brilliant, meaning shiny, bright, grounded with many people as you are one-on-one. As you can probably tell, I am at ease with, my biggest audience I think has been about 500, but I'm as comfortable with them as I am with you. And I think it's just, anyway, I won't go into the whys, but everyone can be that way. But we get messed when we're in a crowd. So what we want to do when we're in a crowd is protect ourselves, avoid becoming accessed by other people's moods as well. You're okay, and you meet your friend for coffee, and they're not okay. And you leave going, why did I do that? I just messed my day up a little bit. So you can stay bright and protected and know how to do those things. And I'm going to leave you with some final words about the kinesiology and healing trauma history. And I'm just going to read them and allow you to have a think about this. All relationship problems happened long, long ago. What we understand from relationships with anyone at any time is that if we stay in the here and now, which is where we are when we are in love, the relationship is fine. When you stay in the here and now is when you fall in love. Your heart is connected to the other heart and you're in love. What happens when you're not so? Will you be right back because I want to do the aligning? Okay, all right. So the relationship is the, when you fall out of the here and now, anytime you have an argument with anybody you love, guess what? You're not in the here and now. You've triggered something and you are back as a child with the same strategies that a child has, which is not what your loving adult self would want you to do. Oh, bad behavior is neither here nor now. I love that one. If I have a mood blip somewhere, they're pretty mild. They just manifest as rude behavior, which is very sad. So nobody thinks I'm crazy, they just think I'm mean. But what's happening is I've been triggered and I am back, and what I've come to learn is the adult angry parent when the helpless, sad child has been triggered. And as an adult, we tend more to get into the angry adult parent. So when someone is really angry with me, I am a holistic therapist now and a coach, but I understand where that's coming from. It's got nothing to do with me. They've been triggered by something, and they are no longer the adult Fred, but they are a 3-year-old who's had something go on with them. The forgotten past is neither forgotten nor past. I love that one. That comes from the trauma therapy work, where we are a millisecond away from all the traumatic stuff that happened. This is the present, this is the past. It's right there. So our past is not past. It's just there to be triggered if we still have stuff that is there. So the past, we don't forget. We don't forget anything. And finally, our trauma history resonates with each other, and we go along for a ride. That is the addictive relationship, and many relationships actually. You resonate with whatever's wrong with the other person, and it's that trauma history that has the connection, and you, the person, are kind of along for that ride, which is why when in relationships, when one person is changing, they need to work to make sure that they're both changing, because what was the connection sometimes is disappearing. You need to make new ones, healthier ones. You never forget anything. The subconscious. How many of you are familiar with this? The subconscious is like a big recorder. It goes on, it actually goes, well, we won't discuss when it goes on. I'm in a room of dowsers, so I'm comfortable with saying it goes on like a long time ago. But in this lifetime, it goes on from conception, not even from birth. Apparently it's on at conception. And there are more and more stories about how babies in utero know what's going on in the world around them. There's a lot of information about that. Ask Mr. Google. It's pretty interesting, probably what you'll find on that. Mine is from my training. Okay, so your whole history, your whole history, and nothing but your history. And it is all recorded, every minute, tiny event, which is why hypnosis works, hypnotherapy works, because as you are driving past the cornfields, whatever you see in those cornfields that you don't notice, you see. And it's all recorded, so we can access the red skirt in the cornfield when we have no cognitive recollection of it, because we don't miss a trick. I see behind me, apparently. You see everywhere, because your entire body is recording everything. Okay, so our energy gets denser, we get harder, and we have to work harder to be okay. We need more coffee, we think, because we are being covered by more and more stuff that doesn't go right. So you really need to do some kind of emotional laundry to get yourself back to the happy teenager you were, if you were a happy teenager. Some people don't resonate with that, because that period of time is not so good. Okay, so all of our stored emotions and stored thoughts that cause us problems are energy distortions in the electromagnetic field. Remember when I was saying 30 years ago, 20 years ago, we're discovering things we didn't know? The paradigm shift with energy psychology is that an emotion is a distortion in the energy field, and if you can access the energy field and erase that energy field distortion, the emotion's gone. It's amazing what you can do to change your life instantly, and that is my experience with clients and with myself, is we change something by one of these new methods, and you are changed. You don't have to work at it, you don't need willpower, you don't need any of those things. Okay. Okay, so how are we going to change this? Okay, everyone, I would like to show you I'd like to kind of wake you up and get you grounded and kind of get you tuned in here. There's two versions of what I'm going to show you right now. I want you to align your energy field. So I'm just going to stand here and wait until your energy fields are aligned. How are you doing? Okay, would you like some help? Alrighty. There's two versions of this. It's called the Cook's Hookup. And what you're going to do is you're going to bring your energy field in together so that you function the way you are supposed to function. Now there's two ways of doing it. One is to cross your ankle over your knee. is a natural